Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Friday to all who are joining me today. This is Miss Uplifting Tea from Community and Culture. Here we do growth over gossip, and I hope this Friday finds you doing well. I don't intend to spend much time talking about the fine people in Louisiana because unfortunately, the fine people in Oklahoma are on deck. So, first of all, if you are just joining us for the first time, I'd like to say thank you. And again, welcome to you. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. It's one of our first milestones here on our new YouTube channel. So, if you can share, like, and subscribe, or if you know someone who would enjoy this kind of content, specifically focusing on the community, the culture, and the South, please share our channel or any one of our amazing videos with them. So here we have once again a new Old South alert because people act like the New South is the New South. No, the New South is simply the Old South. And I tell you that and remind you that hopefully going forward multiple times a week, Louisiana governor signs what I can only be called a stupid bill. The new bill requires that the Ten Commandments are placed in classrooms throughout the state of Louisiana in grades K through 12 as well as in university campuses. Now, if you can see the subscript on the side over there, it says Southern conservative governments do not help their citizens. That is not an opinion, that is a fact. As far as I'm concerned, if these people are so into what their religion claims to teach, this is not my opinion. This is what they tell us. This is what they tell us they believe. Then why is this a fact? So there is the State House of Louisiana where all of this foolishness went down. And he would actually sign this in Lafayette. If you look at that picture, it says Dream Big Louisiana. Now I'm going to show you why putting the Ten Commandments in the classrooms is not going to help any of the students K through 12 or any of those who have matriculated into their university systems across the state will help them do anything but continue to possibly struggle and be left behind. So, when you ask people, this is not someone telling them what they are, this is people self identifying all across the country. We survey people all across the country and we ask these adults, are you highly religious? That means that not only are you supposed to be reading and studying it, you're supposed to be living it, walking it out. That's what supposedly being a part of the faith means. And look at all the states that come up: Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana. There we go. Arkansas, South Carolina, West Virginia, Georgia, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. Everywhere where people identify as being highly religious is basically in the South. And there's a reason why that particular verse from, oh, and if you want to go look up this research, that's the Pew Research study, but go look up any study. They will tell you that almost 80% of all Americans who identify as any form of religious faith or doctrine, they identify as Christian. So great. Let's take the book that they profess to use. Whoever despises his neighbor is a sinner, but blessed is he who is generous to the poor. So let's see if these people who are supposedly living according to their values, let's see if those values are producing good outcomes for their fellow citizens. Dollars to donuts is not. Dollars to donuts is not. But let's find out. I don't know. So here we go. These are the states with the best public school systems. Now, I went through and highlighted any of the states that would have been on this list to make it nice and convenient so we can keep track of these 10 states right here as we go across these lists. Here we go. So unfortunately, the states with the 10 best education systems here in the United States of America, none of those are in the South. But it's funny how these people who claim to have such good moral, upstanding values and characters does not translate into good outcomes for their neighbors. But now we look at the 10 states with the worst education outcomes. And like I said, I took the liberty of highlighting so we didn't have to keep going back to this original list of my fellow brethren in the South. So here we go. So how is it that out of the 10 most religious states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 end up being the worst states in the country for education. And these are the people always shouting and yelling about GROOMERS, because I don't want this flag, y'all. And books and banning books and going to school boards and cutting up and acting a clown. The people who claim to be highly religious have been in charge of these places for decades, not years, decades. And all of these states have been in the bottom for decades. Now, I'm not saying there's causation, but we have enough evidence to surely declare correlation. Google it if you don't know the difference. Schools in session. You see this line on your faith and pretending to be a member of a faith community while this is how your neighbors live is a bunch of tomfoolery. Oh, you think it's just their education that sucks? Here we go. Worst states for healthcare. Those states that claim to be the most religious managed to rank in the top 10 back to back to back to back for being god awful to keeping people well and healthy. So, if you are looking for an affordable place to live, by all means, come to the South. Cost of living in Arkansas, number one, that means it's dirt cheap. Housing affordability is great. Your overall economic opportunity ranks at 29 and it is 47th in best overall states, mostly because of education and healthcare. You want cheap cost of living? You want a nice big house? Come on down to the Mississippi. 35 in economic opportunity, I'm sure that's what that means. But it's 48th overall out of 50, mostly because of healthcare and education. Same goes for Alabama. There's houses waiting for you. You'll be sick and dumb. West Virginia, fourth in affordability. Lots of opportunity. There's a reason for that. Because they have almost no regulation. You go down there and pollute and destroy everything, which is why, even with all that economic opportunity, they are still what? 46th in best overall state because the healthcare and the education there sucks. Here is South Dakota there being an anomaly. That has a lot to do with new industries bringing up there. Oh, let's not skip past Oklahoma because we're gonna get to them in the next part of the new Old South series. Hey, there's economic opportunity in Oklahoma at 26, but once again, because of healthcare and education, 43rd. 43rd. Anybody else we need to discuss? Oh, Kentucky. Here we go. There's some opportunities in Kentucky. They will let you do just about anything to the water, to the air, to the ground. Education and healthcare. And they have actually been working on that. They have come up to get out of the bottom 10 at 39. So at least Kentucky is trying. And one of the things you find out when these numbers start to become closer together, these numbers are going to rise. The cost of living and affordability of housing will rise because the people ultimately have more discretionary income. All right, let's round out our list. Let's round out our list. I didn't want to leave our people out. 50th overall, and they decided to put the 10 Commandments. People are already highly religious. They need the 10 Commandments in their classrooms. What they need is better reading and math scores. What they need is better access to healthcare. What they need is more clinics. What they need is more preschools. What they need is more ability to meet the needs of the mental health community. They did not need more religion. Louisiana is one of the few states that are still organized, probably the only state that organized according to parishes. That literally comes from their Catholic roots. And you think they needed a copy of the 10 Commandments to fix this? But this is what they're doing to fix education. Here we go. Louisiana makes a deal with controversial PragerU to bring that into Louisiana schools. So as soon as August, in a couple of months, PragerU will be a part of the social studies curriculum. And if you haven't heard of PragerU, feel free to Google it after this. But here's a brief statement from the news story from Baton Rouge. A controversial clip is making rounds that depicts Christopher Columbus defending enslavement. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed. No, I don't see the problem, Christopher Columbus said in the clip. The Louisiana Superintendent of Education, Cade Brumley, described it as an alternative learning styles for teachers to use. The partnership with PragerU is simply providing teachers with a resource they might use and consider as they teach their students the freedom framework. They are constantly telling you that somebody that's doing Pride Month is a GROOMERS. And they are literally wanting to indoctrinate your kids in public schools with your tax dollars. But congratulations, Louisiana. You had the lowest voter participation that you've had in 10 years. Way to go. Good job. There they go. Not just healthcare overall, nurses in general. Out of the bottom 10, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the most religious states in America mistreating their citizens, mistreating their fellow neighbors. Boy, if this is how you love your neighbor, y'all suck. It's crazy.
It's crazy. This is literally crazy. Are you people?
The answer to that question, Don Lemon, is yes. They are actually insane. And so it's unfortunate that this is happening in Louisiana. But like I told you, so we're going to be back to our original thesis. These people do not care about their neighbors. They do not care about you. They do not care about governing well. They do not care about helping citizens. I low-key starting to think they actually HATE they citizens, okay? I really think they don't even want these people on the census. Or maybe it's just they only don't want certain people on the census. But that's for another stream. So I'd like to thank everybody who spent a little time with us because I am getting ready to prepare to discuss Oklahoma doing something just as similar and just as stupid. So, as I tell you every time you are kind enough to share some of your time with me, I hope blessings chase you down. I hope trouble never finds your door. There is power and purpose within you, and I need you to level up because your community needs it. There are lots of hurting people out there. Some of that pain is a direct response to his poor governance. So if you come across somebody hurting today, make a little space, give them a little grace. And if you have an opportunity to be kind, please, by all means, do that. And if you are in the South, stay safe and learn to exercise your power. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.